Wolf of the Wisp has wonderful questions for us.
Wolf of the Wisp, I love your name, and I'm confident I'm going to love your question.
Wolf asks, what languages are most difficult to lip read? Lip reading is hard.
Yes.
In English, only about 30 to 45% can be understood through lip reading alone.
Absolutely. When I was learning sign language, one of the things we were taught, make sure you wear nice bright lipstick and try not to have beards and moustaches, makes it so much harder.
Yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
So let's brainstorm. What would
Okay.
make it difficult to lip read?
Unfamiliarity with the language.
Well, let's say that you speak the language perfectly, but it's still hard. What would that be? Here's something I thought of. The first thing I thought of was sounds that look the same. And there's a name for this. I'm going to drop some terminology on you. They're called visemes.
Visemes?
Well, we've talked about
visually
Phonemes and graphemes.
Yeah, we talked about a phoneme is a sound that is distinct from the other sounds. A viseme is a thing that looks distinct from other things. So, for example, when you make the sound p and b and they all look the same. Like pa and ba and ma, they look exactly the same as each other. So if you had a language that stacked sounds up like that, that would be really tough. And I was thinking of Rotokas. In Papua New Guinea, there are very few sounds, 11. But the thing is, the consonants look the same. It's a language with basically 3 visemes. It's got p, b, and It's got t, d, and n, which all hit that same place in your mouth.
Whoa.
And then it's got k, g, and ng, which are all velar. So
Papua New Guinea, that you just don't bother.
That would
So
stuff
give
you
me
up.
a pen and I'll know what you're saying.
It's interesting, Kylie, because that has very much been the Australian government's approach to Papua New Guinea for many years now.
That is true. Zing.
But I think we can throw more into the mix.
Okay.
First of all, tones.
Oh, snap-a-doodle-doo.
Right? Tones is going to make it difficult. Like for Mandarin, where it's like ma, ma, ma. They're all going to look the same to a lip reader.
That is, wow.
But they mean different things. So I think that we're definitely looking for a tone language. But then I thought of something else. A complete lack of sounds using your lips. What if there were languages that just didn't use your lips, didn't use your teeth, just everything like alveolar ridge and back?
Can you give me an example?
Well, I can, because I used a resource that's really cool. It's the World Atlas of Linguistic Structures, or wals.info. And you can search for absence of certain kinds of consonants.
Oh my God, it's like the ITA flight matrix where you can eliminate certain flights that you want by entering the right parameters. Oh, this is the best thing.
Exactly. I found...
You guys are such dorks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do not get me started about the ITA flight matrix, you guys.
So I found 3 languages with absolutely no bilabial sounds. Remember, bilabial, break it down for me.
2 lip involvement.
Like p and b and
Okay.
They're all North American. There's Tlingit, Wichita, and Oneida.
Okay.
All right.
So no bilabials.
And then you can cross-check those for tone or not. And 2 of those had simple tone. So Tlingit and Oneida, so they were on the list. And then I investigated a bit more about tone, and I found out that Oneida doesn't have something called contrastive tone, where if you change the tone, you get different words.
Oh, okay.
But Tlingit does. And there's a really interesting bit of history here, because the person that discovered this was none other than Edward Sapir.
Of the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Wow.
He was a fantastic linguist who studied languages of Alaska and Native American languages. He was the one who noticed that Tlingit had contrastive minimal pairs. That is, when you swap the tone, you swap the meaning. So the word gat means crippled, and gut means sockeye salmon. They look exactly the same.
Tones break my brain.
So I think, Wolf,
we've found it. Daniel
Oh
sleuthed his way to the hardest.
Me.
unless there's something else that I'm missing, I think Tlingit would be the hardest language to lip read, because there's just nothing up front to look at, and there's contrastive tone just to be more confusing.
So if I ever want to work for spies like ASIO or MI5 or learn that
Tlingit.
language and just sit around and go, and everyone will be like, yeah, I can't pick up a single thing that they're saying.
Tlingit.
Yeah.
Tlingit.
Of Southeast Alaska and Upper Canada.
Nice one. Good question.
Excellent question.
Wolf of the Wisps.
That's a great question.
And good answer. I feel like the teacher right now, like, damn, you just knocked that homework out of the park.
Thank you very much.